So, as you can see, I'm in dire need to go to the hairdressers, which I am in fact going tomorrow. I came to the realization though, I've never made a single baked good for those wonderful ladies, which is cruel, rotten, and mean of me. Today, we are remedying that by making a birthday cake for Amelia, my lovely hairdresser. When I asked her what flavour she would want, she said chocolate cake. You can go quite simple, but I don't like doing things simply. I'm gonna jazz it up a bit in that I'm going to do it kind of inspired by a Malteser. We're gonna do like a malty sponge with a brown sugar meringue buttercream, which I'm going to flavour with a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of malt, kind of get that chocolatey, malty sort of feel. The decoration's the fun part because their hairdressing salon is inspired by witches and it's actually called Coven. So the wallpaper they have is covered in these pentagrams and all these cult symbols that I really love. I'm going to try to take that as inspiration for the decoration on the cake. We're hoping that the colour of the buttercream matches that wall. And then I'm going to do some jazzy piping, making it spooky. Hey, let's get started baking the cake. The recipe I'm working off of usually uses hot coffee in the sponge right at the end. Instead of that, I'm going to use Guinness, which I have made chocolate cakes before with Guinness. I've never done it in this recipe. I'm hoping that if I cook this down a little bit, it's going to give me a bit of a malty flavour because it's a malty beer. I think. You see the ASMR of this. I thought that was gonna go everywhere. I need 180 ml, and I've got about 400 ml in this can. So I'm thinking if I reduce it by half, that will be the right amount of liquid. Let's hope that I'm not wrong. All right, on the stove. I'm gonna take it high. Dirty stove, let's not focus on that. 9. Or you can put it on supercharge. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, while that's ticking away, we're going to weigh out the rest of our ingredients. I'm going to be doing 4 layered cake because I want it to be tall, so that looks sexy, let's be honest. So I'm going to be doing 4 layers of 6-inch rounds for the sponge, and then a sneaky little one on the side because, okay, I've never made this before and I want to try it so I can tell you that it's actually good and that you should make it. Okay, we're going to start weighing our dry ingredients. This is just a simple, dry, wet mix sort of sponge. This is a really good flour, okay, Wild Farms. I use all their flour at work to make all the bread, and I think they're a really good brand that you should check out. And if they want to sponsor me, all right, I don't know why I sniffed it. Flour in. You want 330 grams. That's too much. Fuck. Okay. Again, as I said, never made this before, so fuck! Well, we lost a bit of beer. Good to put on supercharged mode. Fuck, what an idiot.
To be honest, I don't know what you expected.
Hey, I thought I would have, my senses would kick in and I'd know. I mean, it needed a wipe anyway, so. Let's try that again. I'm gonna put another can in because we did just lose half the beer. I feel like a 7 is a bit of a better number. And I'm gonna check on it a bit more. Okay, that was my fault. Don't do what I just did. Once you've saved your beer and it's reducing nicely, we're going to weigh some cocoa powder. We're gonna do like 80 grams of cocoa. Usually I do 90 in this recipe, but we're gonna be adding a fuck ton of Ovaltine and I don't want it to add too much to the dry. Makes sense to me. We'll do 80 grams, a nice cocoa. This is a very nice cocoa. I should probably stop saying brands. And I did a comparison when I was in the shop. Horlicks or Ovaltine? That's what I was thinking. I'm saying brand names again, doesn't matter. This one or a different brand of malt drink? I'm gonna keep checking that now. Turns out, Ovaltine has more malt in than the other one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in, God, it smells like childhood. Smell. I do like 60 grams. I'm gonna go pretty crazy with this because I want you to be able to really taste it in the sponge. I'm hoping it's not gonna affect the crumb too much. At this point, we're really winging it, which is why we're doing a little test cake. Okay, so we're gonna go in with bicarb baking powder. There are raising agents.
I'm so anxious about that now.
Oh, this is a fresh can. Fuck me, what do they make this out of? Which one's this? Bicarb. Or is Americans baking soda? 2, 3. This is what is going to give us a really nice reaction with the acidity in the buttermilk to give you that nice soft crumb. When you tend to use bicarbonate of soda, whatever you're mixing and making batter-wise, you want to get it in the oven as soon as possible once you've started mixing it, because the chemical reaction starts, and once you get it in, it hits the heat, you're going to get a better rise. See, I do know something. Baking powder. It's less cool younger brother. I don't have any particularly interesting things to say about baking powder, it just is. That's traumatized me now. I just had an idea. Because I put a little extra beer in there, once I use what I need for this cake, the rest of it I'm going to boil down to like a syrup. We might put some in the buttercream. We'll taste it and see if it's nice. We're doing crazy things, crazy games. Salt, 1.5 teaspoons, which is the right amount. Because salt brings out the flavour of chocolate. We know this, boys and girls, don't we? And it won't taste too salty. It'll be nice, I promise.
Fine handling the salt.
7, it's the best number. It was only 7. I put my sugar in with my dries. I tend to just use golden in this recipe, but I'm gonna fuck around with it a little bit. So we need about like 450 grams total. Just gonna kind of see what I got left in this. We're looking at 201 grams of caster, and then I'm gonna do the rest in dark brown. Delicious dark brown sugar, nice and treacly. Hopefully bring out a bit of that malty flavor. Okay, you know what I'm also gonna do? I'm only gonna do 400 grams. So 200 grams, equal parts of both the sugars. I really mean it when I say I'm making this up as I go along. I really hope it's nice. I think it will be. I've got to have more faith in myself. Most of the time it turns out fine. So we've done equal parts, 200 grams of both sugars. Whisk all of this together. I understand I haven't sieved anything. If that stresses you out, I apologize. If we give it a good whisk together, it should be fine. I might sieve it. I'm looking at it and it's looking pretty clumpy. So we're gonna sieve it. But this is what I intended to do this whole time. I wanted to mix it all together and I wanted to sieve it afterwards. This is just how the pastry chef mind works, you know? Working several steps ahead. All right, take your whisk, your sieve with no handle because you broke it, and we're just gonna sieve it into another bowl. I should have done this with all the ingredients before. I was being lazy because guess what? I hate sieving. Particularly hate sieving icing sugar, which, hey, you don't have to do with the buttercream I'm gonna show you to make because you make a meringue instead. Since I learnt about Swiss/Italian meringue buttercream, I've never gone back, and I don't think you will either. It's a game changer. Now onto the wet ingredients. Usually you could just use buttermilk in this recipe, but I kind of like the creaminess you get from crème fraîche. You could also use sour cream, which would give you more of the tang that you get from buttermilk. It's less sour than sour cream, obviously, but it's creamier, if that makes sense. And it's a bit more stable. Not that that matters a crazy amount. When I just use buttermilk, the sponge is quite flimsy. I want something that's a bit sturdier as I'm stacking it into 4. So I was thinking, what if I use crème fraîche? I feel like that'd be really nice. We're gonna try this because I feel like crème fraîche is delicious. So it's gonna make a delicious cake. And make sure you use full fat because the half fat one's for nerds. The way I calculated this, I'll be honest, is because it comes in tubs of 300 grams. So I didn't want to get 1.5, obviously. I don't want half a tub of crème fraîche in my fridge. 300 grams of crème fraîche. They say that there's supposed to be 300 grams in this. Well, 300 ml. 289. 290. Unbelievable. Anyway, 150 grams of this, or 160 now. Because we want 450 grams total. So you want to use some buttermilk because it's going to give you a good tang. But also, actually, get 440. I don't know why I did that. Let's do 440 grams total. Hi! Pippi! We currently have 3 dogs in the house and they're all fucking mental. So we're gonna do 290 grams of crème fraîche, as that's what's in the tub, 150 grams of buttermilk, and then I'm gonna add in 10 grams of white wine vinegar at the end when I'm putting in the hot Guinness, because I want to add back some of the acidity that we're losing from the fact that I'm using crème fraîche, not sour cream, and not full buttermilk. That makes sense. If you've ever made a red velvet cake, you add a little bit of vinegar at the end. You add a little bit of vinegar at the end to kind of give your buttermilk, give your bicarb a little kick. To this, we need 3 eggs, also known as 3. 3 eggs. There's a fucking fly in here, and I will scream. 2, 3. God, these shells are a bit shit. I am judging these chickens. They haven't been snacking on pebbles today, I'll tell you that much. Oil, olive oil, in most of my cakes because I think it tastes good. I know it's like use a neutral oil, so you can't taste it. Well, I quite like how it tastes when you put olive oil in a chocolate cake. And I know there's a lot going on in this, I'm realising that, but I think it will work. So I need, I've not written how much oil I need in this recipe. I feel like I gave up writing it halfway through. That's definitely what I did. Hold that thought. Okay, 180 grams of oil. You can use a neutral oil if you want to. You can use sunflower, I wouldn't recommend sunflower. You can use rapeseed oil or coconut oil, perhaps. Or if you're fucking rich, you can use avocado oil. Hey, go crazy. 181. And get a little bit on the side. And then, because do you remember earlier we did 400 grams of sugar instead of 450? That's because I'm hoping I have 50 grams left in this. Barley malt extract. If you've made I think it's bagels. If you've made bagels before, you know about this. It smells delicious. That's the reason why I had a jar of this. 50 grams of this to add that bit more of that malty flavour. I'm not gonna add any vanilla as well because I don't want to add too much. There we go. Hey, 51. What's wrong with me today? I'm gonna save some of this for the buttercream as well. Flour, cocoa, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, salt. That's the hot crème fraîche, oil, eggs. Okay. I just had to make sure. The amount of times I once baked cake without the butter in it, and I had to take it out of the oven halfway through and scrape it out. It was fine though. It was a lemon loaf. Well, actually, I don't know how delicious it was. It was for a bake sale, so it might have been shit, but I'll never know. I'm measuring up the vinegar now because I know if I don't, I'll forget. Okay, I think that's reduced enough. It looks like it's reduced by about half. Again, I had to add another can, so I can't exactly remember, but that looks good to me. We need to weigh out 180 grams. You want it nice and hot. Be careful of your fingies. 181. We're gonna cook down the rest of this into what will hopefully become a nice syrup. So just forget about it. We're ready to combine everything. Make sure you have your cake tins light. Oh, honey. I can't remember what I just said, so I'm gonna say it all again. Right, we're ready to go. We're gonna put our wet into our dry, followed by those 2 wets as well. The hot beer and the vinegar. Okay, in. And you just wanna mix it, not too much. But you wanna make sure everything's nicely incorporated. Just start from the middle out so you don't fucking splash it everywhere. And start to bring it in. You know how to fucking whisk. Okay, don't do that. I feel so condescending telling people how to whisk 2 things together.
No, you're doing good.
It's gonna be quite thick, which means you can really whip the shit out of it. Okay, nice. We've got a good mixage because we're gonna be mixing it more, so it's all good. Try not to over whisk. Now we're gonna add in our hot beer, but we just do it like half because otherwise it is gonna just slosh everywhere and be real messy. You kind of want to like fold it in a way. As it starts getting looser, it'll be easier to.
Affect the eggs in it.
It won't affect the eggs, as I've just been asked, as you have just mixed and emulsified those eggs already into the batter. You can kind of see it kind of bubbling and changing colour is the reaction from that baking. No, bicarb, not the fucking baking powder. And vinegar in. Bing. That's going to get a little fizzle. Okay. A little scrape around the sides just to make sure you got everything mixed together. Sometimes you get a little bit on the bottom that just hasn't mixed into the hot wets. So just get that. Whoop. Okay. Boom. Done. We weigh into our tins, okay? Don't eyeball or you'll piss me off. Just weigh. And it just means all your sponges will rise evenly. Saying that, I'm not actually sure how much to divide these by. We're gonna start with 300 grams per tin, being 1. Okay. That's doing 300 in each tin. I might do 50 grams more.
Sorry.
You troublesome little shadow entered the chat. What the hell? She came out of nowhere. Yes. Okay, we're gonna do 350 grams total in each of these little 6-inch tins. This is how I practice for all of Bake Off, dodging dogs. I can't say I recommend that experience for anyone. Oh, and that little creature there, that first mille-feuille I made, had a couple of little bite marks. Actually, perfect cartoon-style bite marks out of the bottom tiers. So at least she liked it. So no comment on that. I think 350 is a good amount. It might be too much, but I could trim the tops and then we have snack.
Hey, worst case scenario, okay? Not a problem.
This is the positivity I need right now. And then last of it goes into, where did this one come from? What? I guess it's everyone's birthday today. I was thinking in my head earlier. Well, I was thinking, I'm only 23. No, I'm definitely 24. Now we bake. Give them a tap to get all those little bubbles to the top. And we're gonna put them in a preheated oven, which is set to hopefully 175. So there's my little gun. There it is. It's underneath the ginger. Okay, let's have a little look here. Hey, that's actually not bad. 180, but again, by the time the tins are in there, and I've cranked it down a little bit, I think we're gonna be good. All right, in they go. This is my little oven goblin stance. You've seen what this oven's done to my bakes before. We will be taking half time to flip all of them round. Otherwise, one will be particularly fucked. We're gonna check them at 15. Hey, this is working. Do you see how much this is reduced by? I want it a little bit more. I want it to literally be like honey. It's taken like 1/2 hour, like 2.5 hours. Now we clean and then we make buttercream. We're just gonna check the sponges and give them a little mix around. Oh, you know what? That's looking good. It's still quite jiggly. Actually not looking too patchy. Don't let too much heat out. At least another 10. We're about to check the cakes again. I definitely can see they need a little longer, but I am going to give them a little swapsy. So I'm just gonna swap shelves. This little guy was in the hot spot. Yes, thank you, Pippin. She's just checking everything's in order. Let's give them like 5 more minutes. Okay, just gonna give the cakes a little probe, check the doneness. Yes, you think they're done? Yeah, she thinks they're done. Let's double check these guys. It's looking pretty clean to me. Springing back a bit. I kind of want to give them 5 more minutes though. So I am. We're gonna have to put them somewhere she can't get them. Let them cool in their tins for a bit. Smell delicious.
6 for you, sorry.
On the YouTube now. Mm-hmm. Hey, that went up by 2. Time to make our buttercream. I've got my egg whites here. I've got 300 grams. I'm going to add to it dark brown sugar. Usually I do, it's like a 1 to 2, but I want to do a little bit less because I feel like it. I always kind of do with these sort of things. So we're going to do 540. 543. And to this, we'll add a little pinch of salt. Like that much. Now whisk all of this together. And we're going to cook this over a bain-marie, whisking what's the word I'm looking for? Whisking intermittently until it reaches 63. Or if you don't have a thermometer, you could do a little test where you take a little bit and rub it between your fingers, and if you can still feel grains of sugar, then it's not ready yet, and you want to keep doing it until you don't feel anything. Until it's like a... Oh. Do I want to do all milk or some dark? To this buttercream, I'm going to be adding a little bit of this says dark milk, also known as like 45 to 50% chocolate. I don't know what that alarm's for. So we're going to use like 48% chocolate. We need 170 grams. This is good stuff. Fuck. Some ASMR. I know what my next career should be. I'm too loud and annoying for that. And then this is for Meg. That's the payment. Oh, there this. That's looking dark and interesting. I've never done this before. We're figuring it out.
Personality coming out.
We're fucking figuring it out, okay? I think it will work. Okay. So, butter, we need 750 grams of butter, and you want it to be really soft. I've had this out for a little while, but it's quite cold today, so not much has happened, I'll be honest. We're gonna give it a little bzz in the microwave. Just chop it up. Don't really need to weigh this. 250 gram blocks. Do the math. So we're just going to microwave that in 30-second blasts. Because you don't want it melted, you just want it soft. Here's our poor beaten mixer. It may have fallen off the kitchen counter more than one time. I can say that was my fault both times. I was making bread, okay? I had to knead some bread. Some sacrifices sometimes need to be made. I would do it again. No, I wouldn't. The whole point is that I won't do it again. This baby is gonna get hot. She's gonna wobble around, she's gonna get real hot. I can promise you that. How are we looking? That's pretty soft. I'm happy with that. I literally just put them in for 30 seconds. Smush that quite easily. That's what we want. That's got a bunch of fucking... I've really fingered that butter. It's looking like it's getting there. Just give it a little probe. We're good. We should be good. And if so, you want it at this stage, do the little... Ooh, I feel nothing. Were we selling a toilet? Hell yeah. Get that in there. Oh, fuck. Okay, plug it in. That would be helpful. And let's go. So, okay. So, you want to whip this until you've got a fluffy meringue and the bowl is cool to the touch. I'll see you when that's happened. Okay, so our meringue is looking very sexy. Look at that. It's definitely done. It's like caramelly, really rich. It smells incredible, but it's still a little warm to put the butter in. If we put the butter in at this point, it would melt the butter and turn into a split, soupy mess. You do not want to do that. So we're just gonna keep whipping it 5-10 more minutes and it should be ready to go. So, now that it's cooled down significantly and my mixer is red hot, we are going to swap this from a whisk attachment to a paddle. You want to add your butter a tablespoon at a time, so you're not putting too much in. I have done it before, I put a massive chunk in and it will just like splash out at you, trust me. So, patience. That much at a time. I said 1 tablespoon and I did 2, okay? I get it. Let it go slowly, and then once you can see that it's been incorporated, you go in with your next chunk. Just like that. Every now and again as well, we'll stop the mixer, we'll scrape down the sides to make sure it's all getting incorporated evenly. You don't want a streak of meringue through your buttercream, or you don't want a chunk of butter. No one wants that. That's gross. We'll be here for a little while. So, see you in a bit. We're almost all in. We're almost there. Last couple chunks going in, and then we'll stop the mixer and we'll scrape it all down. Fin. You can see it's starting to thicken and turn into an actual buttercream. Can you see that? Second camera, can you see? Turn it up now. Feel like there's still a couple of butter chunks, but I just want to give it a little scrape. Make sure you get to the bottom. That's always where there's gonna be a little bit of meringue left. This is gonna be fucking good. What can I say? Maybe I'm cocky. I was lying in bed last night. I was like, oh, brown sugar, yeah. Oh, if I put milk chocolate into it, I think that'll be really good. What if we put some malt barley in? Hey, and hey, you know what? I was right. I may have only gotten like 5 hours sleep, but it was worth it. Okay, now we whip on like medium high. You want to make sure it's really smooth before you add in your melted chocolate, because this is like the no going back point. Once the chocolate is in, you can't really whip it much more because science. Okay. So we're at a point where, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. That is a lovely Swiss meringue buttercream. Let's give it a little try. Very caramelly, but we're gonna fuck around with it now. What I want to add, I've never tried adding any sort of syrups into a buttercream, so we're gonna start with this and hope for the best. Because I did reduce the sugar a little bit, I'm not too worried about this adding any extra sweetness. I'd say that's like 2 tablespoons worth. And then I'm not putting much of this. I just tried it, it's very concentrated, so we're gonna do like, how much? Half a teaspoon. Okay, we're going in. It's quite a lot of buttercream, might do a little bit more. We'll find out. It's not really coming through that much. I might put a little bit more. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit more of this. So that's, I'd say that's 1 teaspoon of that now. And then putting my chocolate in now. You make sure your chocolate is like room temp. You don't want this too warm, so what is this? Like 32, 30. 30 degrees is good, 27 would be perfect. You want to make sure it's not going to melt anything when it goes in. Now we go. Scrape the sides. This is a very Malteser-y colour, I have to say. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh jeez, that's really nice. I'm not very good. I'm good at making things. I'm very good at describing it. Oh shit, that's nice. What I do want to do, I want to add a bit more of that. Am I allowed? Just a little bit more.
Do whatever you like.
I have free will. Okay, I'm gonna do. That's like 2 teaspoons of it now. But I think it does work really nicely. You don't get a flavor of Guinness. It just kind of helps to round out the actual buttercream, so it's not just sweet. Because when I eat something that's just sweet, I'm like, ugh, stop. As my first teacher told me, Miss Fang, not too sweet. That is the highest compliment you could have gotten from that lady. I don't want to add any more shit to it, honestly, because it's looking pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Malty. It's malty. Oh my god.
It's like smooth blended Malteser.
It does. That tastes like blended Maltese. By God, she's done it. You know what it tastes like? The fucking milkshakes you used to get in Kingston. Probably not just in Kingston, but for me, the milkshakes you used to get in Kingston, it was blended Curly Wurly and Maltesers. That's what this tastes like. Oh my God. Okay. Good thing we recorded this, because I haven't written any of it down. Now it's time to ice. I have my nifty little turntable. The cakes have cooled, mostly. No, they are. They're pretty cool. Just like me. We've got, let's see, the only cake box I've got fits this board. And I've only got these here little shit ones. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use both. We're gonna put a little bit on stickage. Stick that down there. Beep. Hold this thought. Do I want to trim these sponges at all? They look pretty level. I think we're all gagged by that. So we want a perfect top. I always use a base of one of the cakes as my top. I think that one. I choose you. Yes, and then, okay, perfect. Make sure it's central. Okay, they are a little on the piss. That is going to annoy me. Okay, give me 5 seconds, I'm gonna trim them. Just about to make a bit of a mess. Just trying to get the crumbs. If I had one of those nifty little cake levelers, this would be great. But I don't. I'm the cake leveler. Just like, it looks like me. It does look like you. Ha! That's pretty good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, look at the material. Look at that crumb. That's perfect crumb. I'm gonna put her back on there. I'm just gonna trim the rest of them the same way I did that, just like topping it off. Meg snacks. Right, this is the last one. You little shit! Did you get that on camera? Unbelievable! Don't you wag your tail at me! Oh no! Oh my god. She is so naughty. Okay, perfect. We're ready to go. Because she's quite a moist cake, I don't need a syrup or anything to soak into it. I'm quite happy with the integrity of it. Skip that. But I don't really love soaking my sponge with syrups anyway. I find it too sweet.
Well, you're not Norman.
A soaking joke from Meg. I like to use an ice cream scoop to measure my filling so I know that each layer is consistent. Should I do 1 or 2? That's a great point. Let's see what 1 looks like. I'm pretty happy with that. It's like a nice thickness. And you're gonna get 2 more layers of it between the cake. Although, we could do more. Kind of negates the point of the scoop. We're gonna do 1. Let's just do 2. I'm just gonna do 2. If I regret that, I might regret that. But I don't like to skimp on the filling. I mean, you guys are never gonna see the cross section of this cake, so it doesn't really matter. Not really. On to layer number 2. Sometimes, because this is quite a tall cake, and it is gonna be like quite heavy layers of sponge, if I find that it's getting a bit slip-slidey, I will put it back into the fridge and let it set. But you'll see, I like to do my cakes in 3 stages. So stage number 1 is to fill. Stage number 2 is to crumb coat. Stage number 3 is to just do the final coat. And in between all those steps, we will be chilling the cake. I find that's pretty much what most cake decorators do. 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's all lined up as you go. Last layer. You can see she's starting to get a bit, because our buttercream's nice and soft, we should be okay. If it's quite hard and you're pushing it around, it gets a bit messy. A lot of it's about temperature control, making sure your buttercream's in the right consistency, the right temperature, making sure your cake's cool. Put our final layer on. Felt like that one was a bit wonky. Perfect. Forget about that little chunk there. But what you can do is you can take your scraper and make sure you're happy with how level it is. I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna now put it in the fridge 10 minutes so that can firm up, so that when we go to crumb coat it, we're not pushing it around. Woo. We've let it set in the fridge till it's just about, it's like a little sticky, but it's not like wet like that. It's not wobbling around when you move it, which is fine because we're just literally doing a rough crumb coat next. So what I like to do when I do a crumb coat, I don't want to get crumbs in my nice buttercream, so I take a little bit out. So this is my crummy bowl now. That's my crummy bowl. I like to start from the top and work down. So just a little splodge there. Take an offset palette knife and then just kind of ease it over the edge. You don't need to do really thick crumb coat. You just want to make sure that you're not going to get any crumbs in your nice buttercream. Let me go into the crumb bowl, get that little extra bit out that we need. Oh, fuck. I was doing so well. I knew it was going to happen. Like there. Splodge. Smooth it out. Move the turntable instead of the palette knife. Make sure all the sponge is covered. Perfect. Let me just smooth the top. And then we're going to smooth the sides with our scraper. So you just want to hold it, use the straight edge to scrape off any excess. And then hold it at an angle, like I'd say that's like a 45-degree angle from the cake. And you smooth your buttercream out. That, let's have a little look. So I can see that She's a little bit tilted to the side, so you can just take a little palette knife and kind of push her back over there. And then we can just go over again. I'm gonna add a little bit more buttercream to this side as well, just to straighten it up a bit. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's literally the crumb coat, as long as it's not too on the piss, because that's going to be really hard to fix later. Once this is all done, we're going to want to set it up completely in the fridge so it's rock hard and it's not going anywhere, so that when you go to do your final coat, it's nice and straight and neat. Pretty happy with that. Most of my sponge is covered, all the crumbs are in. It's a little wonky, but don't worry, we're going to fix that. We're going to fix it. Hello. You don't want all these bits at the top. You just take your palette knife, take your clean palette knife, pull it towards you, scrape off the excess, pull, scrape. You're gonna go all the way around, and done. Crumb coat, done. Chill it for like half an hour probably, till it's fully set. If you have a freezer, stick it in the freezer. Please, 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 please work. Oh. No fucking way. Say a little prayer for me. Fuck yeah. We are ready to go. Like when you touch it, it doesn't come off on your finger. She's nice and cold. She's not going anywhere. This is gonna be the nice one. A straight edge on the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a little overhang that we're gonna set it with, and then I'm gonna cut it with a knife afterwards. You'll see what I mean. We don't want any air bubbles. Boop, boop. Go that much. I definitely made way too much buttercream. Same process as before. I work from the top down. Make sure you get a nice thickness of buttercream on the top. Work it down the edge. The wallpaper I'm working from is black with the decoration on it in this sort of brown colour. But if you've ever eaten anything with black food colouring in before, you know why I don't want to do that to her, okay? Your mouth's gonna turn black. So instead I've inverted it, brown base with some black piping on it to add all the decoration. Make it a nice smooth finish on the top. That's nice and level. So we've got some boiling water. I'm just gonna dip kitchen roll, so it's like warm to the touch. Don't want it too hot or you're just gonna melt the shit out of your buttercream. And this is just gonna try and do it in one. I didn't do it in one, but you see, smooth. You know what? I don't hate that. It's level, it's pretty flat. I'm gonna work with that top. Take your scraper, which I didn't clean from earlier, and we're gonna scrape off the excess. There's gonna be some lumps that have more buttercream than others. And let's have a little look here. Some gaps which need to be filled. So what we could do, take some more, and because your cake's cold now as well, your buttercream is gonna solidify faster, so you wanna work quickly. Now we're gonna go again at that angle. Nice. Oh, it looks pretty fucking straight to me. Let's go over again. If you put your scraper up against the cake, you can kind of see. Mostly I'm happy, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of buttercream off the bottom of the cake, straighten it up. You can see it's a little bit more straight now. Happy with that, and then I'm gonna go in at that angle and just smooth. I'm getting any little gaps again. I'm just gonna fill up. This isn't gonna fit in there, is it? Oh, no. Haha! Fill with hot water so it gets nice and warm for when you're smoothing it out nicely. Bit of a nicer finish on the surface of the buttercream. Let me go over it again. Okay, one more time. Let me go over it. There are a couple of air bubbles, but I'm honestly not that worried about it because I'm piping little designs on top. So you're not actually going to be able to see it. Try not to go over it too many times. Don't be like me. It's not always going to look completely perfect, okay? That's just life. Last one. I promise. Last one. What was she just put in her mouth? I'm going to stop there. Any more and your buttercream's going to get a bit like split. Oh, don't look at that. It's going to get a bit like splitty from the heat. Hey, that's pretty smooth. I'm going to take a hot knife once it's cold. I'm I'm gonna slice that so it's nice and flat and level. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge now. It's time for decoration. But first, I'm gonna mix our black buttercream. See, I don't love using a lot of food coloring. So I have a little hack that means you can use less food coloring. You get more bang for your buck, essentially. Use your tiny spatula, get out a little bit. That much, not much. I really don't want to turn everyone's mouths black. That would not be a fun birthday. You essentially use a blender, immersion blender. You blend your buttercream with the food coloring in, and it makes it go darker. I'm putting a little bit more. I do want a really black. All right, it's in. We blend, make sure this is clean. It's clean. It's looking pretty horrible right now. Horrible shade of green. We're going to, that's probably what I needed, huh? Thanks, Meg. We go a little bit at a time. Hey, you don't have to believe me, but if you did this by hand, it wouldn't look as good. That's what I'm telling you. Don't waste your time, okay? I don't know, that's pretty black.
Yeah.
I'll do a little bit more. Someone got me spoons. Boop. This will be real black. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. You can get this color naturally using black charcoal, but I find it does leave a little bit of the taste that I don't love. We don't live in America, this isn't Red 40. So to all you Americans out there, maybe you should look at some other options, but I think we're fine. We're ready to pipe. And also, blending it like that has taken out almost all of the air bubbles from it, which will be really helpful for when we're piping in a bit, because you'll see. Go get cake. Cleaning up the edge. So we're just going to use a hot knife to trim the top so it's nice and even and flush. I just do a little bit at a time. You can always take more, but you can't put back. That's what you need to remember. If your cake's nice and cold, this should be a breeze, but if it's not cold enough, just put it back in the fridge for a little bit. Boo, I don't have hay fever, I'm not a nerd. Starting to get some condensation, which, you know, just ruining my life. So I've got a piping bag. I know it looks pretty crusty and old. It's because it is. I reuse them. Just wash them out. You'll be fine. And I've got it fitted with a little nozzle. I'd say that's about 1 mil in width. It's very nice. And we're gonna put our black buttercream in. It's not fucking green, Meg. I swear to God. You're trying to stress me out. I'm just gonna put a little bit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, let's find our back. So the top is essentially going to have a pentagram, which means I've got to do a circle. You can do this. Could be worse. Could be worse. That's a little join there. There was one air bubble. Honestly, that is fucking typical. Okay, now we need to do another one of those. And then the painful part's over. This is the part I hate the most. This is stressing me. Stressing me the fuck out. No. We can just start from there. Okay. Okay. That could have gone so much worse. This is the part I was dreading. Not bad. You know what? I need a toothpick and I can fix it. That kind of fixes it, doesn't it?
It does. That's great, Harry. Don't agonise.
This is the positivity I need in my life. We're doing a star, so star has 5 points. 1. And then it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this should be easy. It's just more lines. Should be, is what she said, huh? Should be easy. This way we won't actually get possessed by anything.
Exactly.
That was fully my intention this whole time. She's showing the realities of life with the piping bag. It also is a little bit on the piss, that line. Next one, I'm gonna go across. Cakes. Hey, Okay, now we're doing some symbols.
I love him.
It's like Boney. Boney.
Hello, Boney.
Hello, Boney. Okay, one down. To do the bats, and then we're going to switch to a smaller nozzle, which I'm going to use to do the more detailed aspects of the cake, because I fucked up that bit at the top, okay? I should have done a smaller nozzle and I'd learned my lesson, okay? You don't need to go fucking barking on about it. Alright, bats. Bat there, bat there. He's a bit on the piss, okay? He's had a couple of drinks. I kind of love how weird the bats are. They're unique, okay? The bats are so fucking funny looking. Okay, I'm gonna do one more bat. So, I'm gonna put this in the freezer, and I want to scrape that little fuck off the top of the cake. And in this time, I'm going to switch nozzles. Okay, and cut. It's time to scrape off this design. Hopefully it'll come quite easy. Yes. What? Where'd it go? No! Why do bad things happen to good people? I did it so well. Fuck! It's left a little bit of an impression. This is what you get for trying to summon Slender Man. I've got a better nozzle now. She's way cuter. I have had some trauma-related incidents with this nozzle, however. I'm hoping she doesn't do this to me today. Oh, Meg, you're gonna see tomorrow. Oh, that's so much better, isn't it? Yay! That looks way better. And that is a reference, my friends. You'll know I just said what it's a reference to. Doesn't matter. Anyway, on to the next one. I feel like the Zodiac Killer. Hell yeah, it's looking sexy. It's all just different symbols that are on their wall, on their wallpaper. I was stalking their Instagram. Got the symbols on. Hey, not too bad, not too bad. Now the fucky part is gonna be this bit. You'll want to fast forward this. Time to channel my inner cryptic. It's gonna be just random symbols now. You can pipe fast when you're just making it up though. Okay, the top is done. You guys, if you can translate what I've written in the border, let me know. Just know it's extremely offensive, so don't write it in the comments. You will get your account deleted. All right, final touches. We're gonna put a couple symbols on the side, and I wanted to put some bottles, potions. Whether or not this is going to piss me off or not, we're gonna find out real soon. I'm gonna try my best. Potion? Nozzle. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more bottles and then I'm gonna do some symbols. It'd be a lot easier if I just like painted it on in hindsight. small eternity later. A little bit stained hands, we're done. And I am pretty happy with the results. I think from what I drew, I think I fucking nailed it, actually.
I think
You know what? I've come back around. I really like it. I got the bats, I got the skulls, got the little potions, the fucky symbols. It's pretty spot on, and I really hope she likes it. I mean, we know it tastes good. We've eaten a lot of scraps of cake, and the buttercream is probably one of the best buttercreams I've ever made. If you're gonna make anything from this, make the buttercream, because it slaps. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though a lot of it was just me hyperfixating on piping a cake, but I hope you enjoy. And if you want to do this design, send me a picture on Instagram of what you've made. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.